All right. Welcome to the Collapse Experiment. If you enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe. 11 things Gen Z thinks are outdated but could actually make their lives so much better. Kind of the opposite of a recent article that I just read. Are these things outdated like Gen Z thinks or just seriously underrated? Outdated. I'm sensing a theme. There's like a word that somebody was like, we need to start doing articles with this. A lot of people are looking up outdated on Google. Okay, in a world where everything is instant digital and constantly being updated. Fucking updates. Oh, you want your computer to stop working? Let Windows update. Everything will stop working. I swear to God. It's easy to dismiss anything that feels remotely old school. Gen Z, raised on smartphones and streaming, often labels certain habits, tools, or ways of life as outdated relics of a slower and less optimized time. But what if some of these so-called relics are actually hidden gems that could actually make their lives better? So let's see some of these things. Physical alarm clocks. There's still one in my bedroom. Don't use it though. And I will say that there were times, because of course the plug-in ones, if there's a power surge, if there's like a short-term outage in the middle of the night, your alarm does not go off in the morning. Let's see what they have to say. Gen Z women using a physical alarm clock. One thing Gen Z often writes off as an outdated but could seriously improve their daily lives is a humble physical alarm clock. Sure, phones have built-in alarms, but relying on them keeps your device within arm's reach all night, inviting late-night scrolling and disrupted sleep. Maybe y'all ain't working hard enough, because when I lay down to go to sleep, it's going to have to be the police with a flashbang grenade that wakes my ass up. One survey found that Gen Z spends more than 8 hours a day online. Man, Pornhub was probably a missed opportunity. Number 2, writing in journals. Of course, these days it's referred to as a blog. Gen Z man writes in his journal outside to cope with stress. Oh, fuck off. Cope with stress. Writing in a physical journal might seem like a relic from another era. Not really. Ask the Bidens. But it's actually one of the most powerful tools Gen Z could tap into for mental clarity and emotional well-being. Yeah, having a book sitting there with all of your deep thoughts. They could one day just end up on the internet for everyone to see. Yeah, there's no stress about that. Okay, unlike typing in your notes app or venting on a private story, journaling by hand slows your thoughts down and helps you process emotions more deeply. It can also improve memory retention. Okay. Number 3, reading paper books. I thought this was already... Wasn't this fight already done, right? Like, we have digital books now, but it still hasn't replaced paper books for the most part. Gen Z woman reads a paper book instead of reading it through technology. In the age of endless TikTok scrolls and Kindle convenience, reading a paper book might feel outdated, but it is one of the most grounding things Gen Z could re-embrace. You know, it'd be nice if schools actually had kids reading books still. That would be fantastic. How we got from schools making it mandatory to read 1984, The Great Gatsby, or like any of these stories that previous generations have been diving into for decades. And then all of a sudden it's like, here's a few paragraphs from this book that you will never read in your life ever, and we don't have any copies of it in this classroom because you all have tablets now. Let's read this, shall we? Yeah. How many articles and videos do I have to see about how people going to prestigious schools like Yale and Harvard have never actually read an entire book? How? Gen Z man calls his friends instead of texting him. This one annoys the shit out of me. Calling instead of texting. People my age are like, I just don't feel comfortable talking on the phone. It annoys the crap out of me, and this is why people get into arguments. Well, you said in your text, and it seemed very hostile. Nah, I just, what? Wearing a watch. Well, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Everybody has a phone now. Everyone has a phone now. Wearing a watch might feel unnecessary when your phone tells time, but its outdated habit can actually level up your daily life. I have had people who work in an office ask me what time it is while they're looking at their computer screen. And what is at the bottom right-hand corner of every computer screen? Well, we don't have a clock in the room. So maybe some people need a watch. Maybe this is cooking at home from scratch. That should just be mandatory. Saves money. The lack of people being able to take care of themselves from bare essentials. We seriously need to remake a bunch of these zombie films, but have it be with like Gen Z and Gen Z trying to survive. And it's like, God, I'm so hungry. And there's all this food around them, but it has to be cooked. And they have no idea how to do it. That is a story I would pay to actually read. Is a group of Gen Z stuck in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, surrounded by edible food, and they don't even know how to cook or prepare or do anything with it. It would, could be so glorious. In an era of DoorDash and microwave meals, cooking at home from scratch might feel like a time-consuming chore, but it's actually a form of self-care. Gen Z could seriously benefit from. It's not just about the food, it's about slowing down, creating something with your hands, and connecting with what you're putting into your body. Here's a tip. While you're cooking, you can still listen to podcasts. You can still listen to your playlist on Spotify in the background. Like, this is something professional cooks do all the time. So if you're like, you can still do these things while you're cooking your meal. Like, start with something easy, like ramen. And then add toppings. Learn how to dice some green onions. Cook an egg. Good God. Going to the library. What is a library anymore? This could be a totally separate video too. Public libraries seem like a thing of the past, but they're honestly one of the most underrated resources Gen Z could be taken advantage of. It's not just about borrowing books that are free. Not free, it's your tax dollars. If you want to use your tax dollars, go to your public library. It's yours. Technically, kind of, sort of. Bring the book back. According to a survey by the American Library Association, 32% of Gen Z and millennials download or read books for free from unlicensed sources. Okay. Libraries offer peaceful, screen-free zones of studying, thinking, or just existing without pressure. Most also have free Wi-Fi, cozy reading nooks, access to movies, music, digital subscriptions, and even workshops or events. It's basically a wellness space disguised as a public service. I will also point out 32% of Gen Z and millennials download or read books for free from unlicensed sources. You can go to your library, and most of them have this feature where you take your library card and you go onto an app called Hoopla or Libby, and you can scroll through all the options for audiobooks, movies, digital comic books, digital format books that you can also check out using your tax dollars. You don't have to do it illegally and get that nice letter from the FBI, as some of my friends have done. Writing in cursive. I like to write in crayon. Cursive writing might feel like a school day relic, but it's actually something Gen Z could benefit from bringing back. I'm sorry, do you want to sign your mortgage with the same signature that you had in third grade? Does that seem like a mature adult thing to do? And I know you guys don't write checks anymore. Like you don't fill out checks. You don't balance a checkbook. But if you have to sign a piece of paper, a receipt, something, do you want it to look cool? But it's actually something Gen Z could benefit from bringing back. While typing is fast and efficient, writing in cursive engages your brain in a more creative and personal way. It improves fine motor skills, boosts memory retention, and helps you connect more deeply with what you're writing. Slow hobbies like knitting, woodworking, and gardening. Growing food. Fixing things. No, I'll just buy a new one. In a world that's all about instant gratification and nonstop hustle, slow hobbies like knitting, woodworking, and gardening might seem like they belong in the past, but they're actually the kind of practices Gen Z could benefit from today. These activities force you to slow down, focus, and be fully present in the moment. Knitting can be meditative, woodworking taps into your creativity, and gardening helps you connect with nature and the seasons. I don't have a yard. Put it in a box! Good God. The amount of excuses. Uh-oh, lost my space. Listening to full albums. Does anybody make albums anymore? Oh my God. And that's the thing. That's the difference between records and CDs. The record, all the good stuff was on side A. The stuff that the musicians wanted you to listen to, side A. Then you had the B-sides. That was the other songs where if you were really into the band, you flipped the record over, you listened to the B-side, and there might be a couple songs in there where you're like, that was pretty deep. Whoa, I want to listen to that again. Anybody else hear this song? And then CDs came out. And that changed everything because there's no flipping it over. You're listening from start to finish. And bands like fucking Tool like nailed that shit. It was like a symphony of fucking metal. And you'd have the intro, and then it'd build up and it'd build up, and it goes into the song. You're just like, fuck yeah, man. It's like a 3-minute intro, and then it goes into this shit, and this is like 8, 9, 10 minutes long, and then it mellows out, and it goes into the next song. Don't get any of that anymore. In the age of playlists and singles, listening to an entire album might feel like a throwback to another era, but sitting down and experiencing an album in its entirety from start to finish can actually change how you connect with music. This is why I still listen to classical, by the way, because it's meant to be an entire piece. an entire experience, not just the one track. It's not just the 1812 overture. There's more to it than that. When you listen to a full album, you're not just hearing individual songs, but you're diving into an artist's complete vision, their story, and the flow that they intended. Writing letters or cards. I have one pen pal. Over the years, I've had others, but eventually they stop writing. I send out a letter. Months go by, and I hear nothing. And most of them were friends, previous friends, that just decided that they had better things to do than keep in touch with friends that they've known for over a decade. Meanwhile, other people, one in particular, I connected with on Instagram. Typewriter enthusiast, enjoys living in a horse trailer. No judgment. It's actually a pretty nice horse trailer. But the thing is, me and him still write. It's a lost art form. When writers of this generation die, there's not going to be a library of letters. It's going to be like 1-2 laptops that are stuck on a shelf that nobody can access because everything on the hard drive is outdated. No physical format. It's just going to be scrap. In an age where digital messages are the norm, taking the time to write letters or cards might seem like a long lost art, but it is one of the most meaningful personal ways to connect with others that Gen Z could benefit from reviving. There's something deeply special about getting a handwritten letter or card, which is a physical, tangible expression of care and thoughtfulness. Whether it's for birthdays, thank you letters, or just a check-in with someone, writing by hand shows a level of effort, attention that is quick text can't match. And if your handwriting sucks and you like typing, buy a typewriter. From me. I have plenty. And that is the end. So, 11 things Gen Z thinks that are outdated. Not really. They're not outdated. It's just they don't want to do it because they have no personality. And anything that's not easy isn't worth doing. And we wonder why shit is falling apart. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is all of this true? Is it not true? Is it stuff that you'd like to adopt in your own life? Let me know. Till then, keep on typing.